Who among you has the most amount of gold now?
Me?
Serenity has about 200.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, sorry, I have 100 gold. I have 10 platinum.
How much
Why
does
didn't you
Mahogany
speak
have?
up before?
Because Serenity was
I
out
asked.
foraging.
Yeah, I asked.
It was just
I have 100 and... Oh, no, I have 375.
Mahogany. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
No, I rolled like a 21 or 22, so...
9.
That's a 9. That's not a 22. Mahogany, you wake up several times over the course of the night.
Yeah.
And what wakes you up is... It feels like you wake up from a nightmare. But as you're sitting upright in the camp, you realize the dream you woke up from wasn't nightmarish. It was... You had a very clear vision of liberation. Having this delicious meal, being surrounded by these tiny fairy folk. Just the scene that I outlined for him earlier. And for some reason, this vision caused you to just wake up, bolt upright in the middle of the night with just such anger and jealousy, and it makes you feel silly. But it happens 3 times over the course of the night.
That's upsetting.
So you are charmed. For the duration of the charm, you resolve to not let liberation out of your sight. You cannot stand the idea of him having joined in this jubilation and not bringing you along with him.
That was really rude of him, too.
It was.
Which means that the next day, Mahogany, you need to explain to your party why you will not be doing the scouting duty.
No, that's not what I resolve at all. I say, liberation, why don't I learn you something about scouting? Come on.
That's literally his response.
How do you know your new life isn't destined to be a wonder scouter?
Wait a
Let's try
second.
it.
Wait a second. I don't think it's a good idea to have 2 and 2 and 1. I mean, like, any of us could get jumped.
Well, I was off on my own before, and now there's 2 and 3.
Yeah, but you were off on your own, and you could, like, in the snap of your fingers, turn into something that would get away easily. And Serenity, we all know Serenity can hold her own. But me and
Thank you,
Kelian,
Riot.
by ourselves?
Yeah, remember what happened last time that happened?
God damn it, you beat me to it.
Kelian, are you saying you can't defend yourself?
I can defend myself just fine.
Well, there you go, then. Alright, we'll see you tonight.
I mean, if we have rations, I can stay with the main group. How much?
I can make us rations. I can make us food anytime we want.
And it tastes like butt.
I just don't understand why we're doing the scavenging every day. My food is fine.
So you're saying you didn't like the venison stew last night?
It was good, but, like, you know, I'd rather you be...
I spent 6 hours cooking that.
It's alright.
It was alright. So, Liberation, are you going to go with Mahogany today scouting?
I suppose I can.
Serenity, can you stay with us today?
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
I mean, I've still got a little bit of the stew left, so I won't be...
Oh, it's no problem.
Totally.
Riot cast create food and water.
And it's
Now,
just a
remind me,
cubic
out of
block of
character, Nich,
gray matter.
Are you capable of making food and water that's good, or is that the spell?
No.
That's the spell.
Okay.
It's great garbage.
I literally like the idea of just this spongy gray thing labeled food.
Yep.
It's like it's create soylent in the water.
Yep,
No,
exactly.
It's create food and water. It's just one orb.
I think
fulfills
food-
both.
Yeah, no,
functions.
it's just Soylent. It's absolutely...
I like the idea that, like, instead of food, F-O-O-D, it's F-U-D with an umlaut.
With an umlaut.
Because the FDA doesn't technically let us call this food.
So, Mahogany,
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be the SDA?
you are going to be making your navigation check at disadvantage because you were watching Liberation more than you're watching your surroundings.
I'm. As soon as we pull away, I go. Okay, let's find some of those fairy people.
Okay. Glad you believe me.
So you guys are, instead of scouting properly, you're going to try to find the fairy
Yes.
folk.
Which way are we going?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
Let's get away from the lizard folk and go north.
And as soon as I see them going north, I go, fantastic.
Did we recover that level of exhaustion?
Yes,
in the
you
morning.
had
Yeah.
your,
Okay, that's what I
your
thought. Okay,
long rest.
just double checking.
I am rolling for random encounters at night, but you've been getting lucky so far. We are using the same Krigala rule that if your long rest gets interrupted by a random encounter, that you do not get the benefit of the rest.
Yeah.
I need to find my correct text file here. I have a text file that I use only for taking notes as far as organizing the video archives. And I think this week's tagline will probably be "food with an umlaut."
I was hoping it would be. Planescape.
I get it.
I don't get it.
Plains scape.
Oh.
Well, you're in the woods though.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got it. I got it. Nick.
All right.
You're
Thanks.
fine. I'm glad somebody got it. Nice. So what direction are you guys setting off in? And to be clear,
Yeah, we said north to get away from the lizard men.
okay, and so to be clear, Mahogany, you guys are going the opposite direction.
Okay.
Is that what?
Well, no, we were going over here because that's where we found the tiny...
The tiny brownie people.
Okay,
Frowny
so
people.
a much different direction. I mean, keep in mind, one of these
Yeah.
hexes is a great distance to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to get a second thing here, and we'll make this one green. So the green now represents Mahogany and Liberation. And
Matt?
before we started tonight, I told you guys the story about how I managed to kill one of my players in Strahd last night, and the reason I was able to do it is because they split the party. Not saying,
Yeah.
just saying.
Was
well aware of
it
that.
was it this
What?
player that you told us about last week? The one who you ended the session?
No, surprisingly, she got out of that scrape, and the party came
Oh, yeah?
together briefly, and then they decided to split up again.
Well, what am I laughing at? We're doing the same thing.
So you three are going to the north, and the other guys are going up here. So Mahogany and Liberation are going to end up here. And the others, you guys make it this far north before you realize, like, Mahogany's been long striding and scouting around, but he hasn't abandoned you. But today, he sets off in the morning all gung-ho, like, hey, Liberation, I'm going to teach you how to scout. You're expecting him to kind of circle back around and come meet you at midday and check in and then head off again, but he doesn't today. Midday comes and goes, and you have to make the decision to carry on to the north as planned, or to break off and try to look for them.
Can Mahogany locate us? Does anyone know?
I have
The two
no
of
idea
us.
what Mahogany can do.
I mean, he could presumably just, track us, but we're not making any specific efforts to disguise our tracks.
No.
That's true.
He's not the worst in the woods.
I'll tell you what, Mahogany is going to be better at finding us than we are going to be at finding him.
That's,
Yeah, that's
kind
true.
of what I was thinking, yeah.
So is the plan to carry on to the north then?
Let's go northwest and stay kind of adjacent to where they went off to.
Well, you don't really know that they're inhabiting this square. All you
No,
know
that's
is
true.
they went off in some direction this morning, and they haven't circled back around
They
yet.
went off like this way-ish, and we went this way. So, but we don't know if they continued on here, or if they are, or where they're going. Like, we know that they're in this direction somewhere.
Okay, so you're going to
Should-
deviate to the northwest for the rest of the day?
I don't know. Should we go after them? I don't like the idea of us all being separated for a long time.
Neither
Scouting
do
is
I,
one thing.
but
Do you have any way to talk to him magically?
Sending. I mean, I can always use sending.
I mean, he
Should
got
we
us.
I mean, the problem is we don't have any good way to rendezvous. We don't have like a landmark that we can tell them to meet back at.
Do you have any sort of spell that makes a bright flare or anything in the sky like that? I think Mahogany does.
Let me look over my spell list real quick.
While he's doing that, I want to be very clear that while you guys are agonizing and trying to figure out what's going on, Mahogany is trying to convince Liberation that it would be super rad if he was just jumping from branch to branch in the trees.
Mahogany's
I'm down for
Liberation.
Hey,
Mahogany is leading you further and further away from what it seems like a reasonable scouting distance would be.
yeah. Once I realized that, I'd be like, "Hey, Mahogany, like keep closer to the others."
Well, I mean, they're right over there-ish. And Mahogany waves his arm in a pretty wide arc.
That doesn't instill me with a lot of confidence there. Maybe we should turn back.
Well, if we turn back, then we'll be even further away from them. That doesn't make much sense, Liberation, does it?
And as you guys are having this conversation, you cross through a break in the trees, and you stumble upon a ruined and bloodied camp.
Whoa.
Doesn't look like there's much left of the people who were camping here. Just looks like some random gear strewn about. Just the old vestiges of what once was a campfire. And, I mean, it looks like it's been weeks.
Liberation. Maybe you should see if you can spot anyone. Maybe if you ran straight up the side of that tree and looked out over the distance on 1 foot to get the extra height, you might be able to spot them.
Okay.
Mahogany's just like, yes, Liberation is so much better than Elsa Clone.
So, what is Liberation doing?
Climbing a tree to gain height, try and spot what might have done this or the others or something.
Well, I mean, without climbing trees, looking around, it looks like wild animals. I mean, you don't see arrow shafts laying in the ground. Notably, the remains of these campers, mostly just bones broken. The meat been pulled off on them. Clothes are ragged and torn. Yeah, it looks like wild animals.
Yeah,
Climbing a
like
nearby
animals
tree.
attack this.
Make me a perception check.
Both of us? Or
No, just Liberation.
Okay. That seems fair enough to Mahogany. I mean, he eats a lot of animals.
7.
A 7.
Yeah.
There's a lot of forest in every direction.
Yeah. Can't really see anything.
It's an ocean of trees in every single direction.
All
Drop
right.
back down out of the tree.
Climb back down. We'll go find the party.
And back at the other party, I'm saying I don't have a lot in the way of magic that can signal. The best I got is produce flame, and I don't think anything can see us over the treetops. I think that worst case scenario, something does see it over the treetops, and it's not what we want.
Fair enough.
I think we should just retrace our steps and tell them to go and stay put. And follow them.
It's it wouldn't be hard. Serenity kind of looks back over the trail that they'd been following.
So how far is one of these hexes?
You can cover 3 of them with a very grueling pace in 1 day. You've been covering 2 in a normal pace in 1 day. I think a standard rule of thumb is something like one of these hexes will be 10 miles or so.
Okay.
Because I seem to remember that like a group of people like this can cover 20 miles of ground in 1 day in 8 hours in good weather and etc. 5e is actually very vague on putting down hard and fast rules for that.
Yeah, they don't have an overland travel entry in the index.
And it's
10 miles is plenty to get an idea.
And
It's just there's so many spells that have like a certain number of miles in them that I
Right.
just wanted like a random rule of thumb.
Earthquake has what, a 1 mile radius or something silly, or not Earthquake, Meteor Swarm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 mile range. Yeah.
What's really obnoxious is like Curse of Strahd. Each hex is like half a mile or something, and it throws me off whenever I'm trying to run it on that hex map. Mahogany. There is a complication as you and Liberation decide to go find the group. Your eyes are drawn to the sky, and you see this band of color going off in the sky in the opposite direction that Liberation seems to want to go.
Huh.
What? What is it?
There's like a color, like a spray of color.
Yeah, I saw that the other day, and you guys thought I was crazy.
Oh, so you're saying? Oh, we did it then. We found them.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
So you are... Okay. So you two will be camping in this area. And you will not have... Well, I don't know. What kind of camping equipment... What is your plan for the two of you?
Ozzy's just gonna rig up like a lean-to.
Just no tiny hut then. For you guys.
I don't know, tiny hut. Don't be crazy.
Why would anybody have a useful spell like that? And the other group, you deviate your course, but you still do not find your companions by the end of the day.
Okay. Where? Yeah, let's put this.
You had moved north, and then you were going to head northwest from there. Is that correct?
No, we were going to retrace our steps and then follow them from there.
Oh, you were going
So-
to go back to the south?
We could get as far as here, but we'd all be exhausted. We still wouldn't catch up with them.
Okay. So yeah, the three of you go ahead and take a level of exhaustion in the tiny hut.
Okay.
What does the watch situation look like with Mahogany and Liberation?
For once in our life, right, reluctantly volunteers a round of watch.
I'll take first watch.
I'll take second.
Well, no.
Wait, yeah, these are different camps.
Yeah.
Well, right now I'm only
Oh, right.
interested in Mahogany and Liberation. The rest of you guys are in a
Gotcha,
tiny
gotcha.
hut. The rest of you could say, we're not going to have any watches, and also I'm going to cast a spell that sounds like banging cymbals and fireworks, and nobody would notice you.
For what it's worth, Brick, I don't know if you actually care, but the DMG list of normal pace is 24 miles a day.
24 miles a day? That's in the ballpark.
Yep, 3 miles an hour.
I just work
About
off a 20-mile rule of thumb.
Yeah, that works.
I mean, you guys have...
Because they're not giving us. They say you have to make checks after the first 8 hours of movement, so whatever.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, you cleared probably close to 30 miles of territory today, doubling back and trying to find where your companions got off to. So yeah, Mahogany and Liberation. Who's taking that first watch?
I'll take first watch.
Alright, sure. Sounds fine to him.
I need both of you to roll a d20. Whoever gets higher wins.
And by wins, what do you mean? I got a 6. I'm gonna re-roll because I rolled a 6 as well. 10.
6, but upside down.
So a 9.
Yeah, that's the one.
So who got higher? Liberation?
I did.
During your watch, Liberation, you hear a horrible sound in the nearby forest that sounds like trees bending and cracking. And you start hearing a roar, like a very loud man. Not a language, just like an angry yell. And looking up, breaking through the tree line and approaching, are a pair of these creatures. And they're enormous. They're easily 14 feet tall, maybe in that area. Both of them just buck-ass, like Norman Reedus naked. And hairy, covered with
Fascinating.
dark,
Norman Reedus.
coarse hair. I love that. I've watched that trailer 80 times. Keep watching it.
Kick Mahogany. Hey, wake up.
He wakes up.
Before Mahogany wakes up, I would like both of you to roll initiative.
Well, my initiative's gonna be pretty low if I'm asleep, Rick Road.
Whether or not you're surprised will be determined by whether or not Liberation uses his first action to wake you up. Alright, I rolled pretty low. Mahogany, what's your initiative?
18.
18? Provided, you know.
I'm very sleepy,
Liberation,
but
what's your
I'm
initiative?
ready.
I'm on 10.
You're on 10.
That's very cipher of you. I'm sleepy, but I'm ready. Ready to act.
So, Liberation, you're watching these two enormous men breaking out of the trees. One of them scoops down and picks up a rock off the ground and makes like he's going to hurl it at you. Mahogany, you're asleep. Liberation, your first round.
Wake up, Mahogany.
Oh.
We got company.
Did they bring a gift?
No, unless it doesn't look like it. Unless you consider giant rocks a gift.
Depends on the rock.
Key
Ah!
key point to dodge.
Key point to dodge.
Yeah.
I can't wait to destroy Mahogany with this rock.
But I won't be surprised by it. That's the important thing.
I mean, they're both going to throw rocks at you. I just
Okay.
described one of them as picking up a rock for dramatic effect. Mahogany. How does a 17 do?
No?
No? And Liberation.
Okay.
How does a... Oh, I got to roll disadvantage against you, my friend.
Yeah.
How does a 12 do?
Nope.
Very good. So these two, they reach down, pick up rocks from the ground, and hurl them at the camp. And both of the rocks miss. They just land on the ground next to you. I mean, Mahogany, you kind of snap out of sleep, and you're looking around like, are the fairy folk here? I'm so excited. And this rock lands next to you with a thud in the ground.
That's not a fairy folk.
And the two unclad gentlemen
Skyclad.
are dashing towards your camp with great speed. So this time, next round, if they dash next round, they will reach your position. And Mahogany brings us to you.
So... I'm gonna ask you for a quick rules question.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, it's not that crazy, but it's,
Yeah.
it's just something that I would know by now.
Okay.
Can I pick things up as an air elemental?
Can you pick things up as an air
I've got a
elemental?
14 strength, so that implies yes, but
Yeah, you're not
I'm
incorporeal.
also made of air.
Let me think. That's a very interesting question. Because you wouldn't be able to pick things up like we think of it, like picking things up, but you could probably still lift objects because of you can pick things up with gusts of air.
Right.
I couldn't see an air elemental having a lot of like manual dexterity,
Right.
but I could see one like being able to lift an object and place it down with some precision, or to pick it up and hurl it, or whatever you need to do.
See, I'm hoping to grab Cyclone and fly the fuck away.
You mean Liberation?
Liberation. Sorry. Much better character. He
don't
was
even-
willing to do crazy tree stunts for me.
Yeah, remember what happened the last time you picked me up and made me fly?
I never
around?
did that to Liberation.
Okay, here's how I'm gonna rule on that.
Okay.
Because I've played NetHack, and because I've been engulfed by air elementals many, many times,
He can't breathe.
you can use your whirlwind attack to basically suck him up. And the way it works typically is whenever an elemental uses that attack, it spits them out in a random direction. You can choose not to do that if you pass a strength saving throw. However, this situation for Liberation is extremely unpleasant, to say the least.
Okay. When you say extremely unpleasant, do you mean like he can't breathe and it's horrible? Or do you mean he's taking 30 damage a round?
No, he won't be taking any damage, but he will effectively be grappled and restrained for the duration you're holding.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm willing to deal with that.
Maybe he's not, though.
Well, he doesn't get a lot of choice. All right, yeah, let's try to make this strength saving throw.
So, Liberation, do you resist this at all?
No. No.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. And so what's your plan as you engulf Liberation?
Oh, we're getting the fuck out.
And going where?
Well, fairies aren't coming, and I'm starting to think the fairies were a lie after all. So I'm saying we go the only way I know, and that's back.
Okay.
So the way I'm imagining it is we're like literally like he's choking about 70 feet above ground, like at tree level.
Well, you won't be flying 70 feet above ground, because you're going to need to make this strength saving throw every turn you're moving with him in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
keep
in that case,
holding
we're just going the fuck out as fast as I can, which is 180 feet around.
Yeah. What I'm letting you do here is use that whirlwind attack in a way that is very weird for an air elemental to use it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm cool with the ground based.
So make a. Don't make anything yet. That's your turn.
Yeah.
Liberation.
So
your
we're
world
at
is
least
horrible
180
right now.
away.
Yeah. Life is bad.
It's difficult to breathe. It's ice cold. It's like you're being spun violently. You're feeling vertigo. It's nauseating. And you get the feeling that Mahogany is fighting 10 million years of air elemental evolution that just wants to fling you into a tree.
I puke up some of that rabbit stew from Serenity.
And now it's swirling around and...
Yeah.
It kind of is Mahogany's puke now.
So what's Liberation's turn? What kind of... I mean, you don't have many choices here. I just want to let you know that your life is pain.
My life is pain, and I'm willing to accept that right now.
Okay.
I am immune to disease and poison, though.
That's good.
So Mahogany, here's what you're going to have to do. First of all, you're going to make that strength save again.
Yeah.
So you can maintain your quote-unquote grip.
Yeah. So we're at least 180 feet away now.
Oh, yeah. You were able to move your full speed.
15?
Make a hide check. This will determine whether or not you can lose these giants behind you.
Okay.
I told Nich a couple of days ago, I said, what I want you to do is get a little bell, and then every time you see a monster from Volos, I want you to ring it.
What's a hide check?
A stealth check.
Stealth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Assuming you want to lose the giants. I thought that was the idea here.
Yes. 11.
Okay. It's incredibly difficult to fly at this speed carrying Liberation, and you're pretty sure he'll be expelled from your grip just through no fault of your own. Just the nature of an air elemental is that whimsical and chaotic. But you reach a point flying away, like you know that these giants can't cover this much ground this quickly. And you no longer see them in your general vicinity. Can air elementals even see? What do they have? True
I
sight?
can see everything.
Everything?
Yeah, they have dark vision.
Okay.
Yeah. And I also know that he can move really fast on his own. So I'm going to say drop,
Okay.
but it's more of a heavy thud. Him onto the ground.
And Liberation, I mean, you hit the ground coughing and sputtering. And you feel like you just would have rather just fought the giants at this point.
Hello, ball breaker. How are you doing today? Fine.
And then some ambulatory vomit kind of flings out of the air elemental and hits you in the face.
Oh, you're doing great. Okay.
So what's next for the two of you? I mean, it's the middle of the night. Your rest has been interrupted.
I say we keep pushing toward where we split off from the group.
All right. When you said that you got woken up in the middle of the night by fairies,
Yeah, it happened.
that's not what I thought you meant.
Wow. Yeah, they were quite a bit bigger. And a lot more clothed.
Well, I mean, there's such a thing as too big.
Okay.
So what else are you guys doing tonight? Are you going to continue moving through the night, pushing through exhaustion, or are you going to try to set up camp again?
I say the
I'm
more
thinking we've
distance
had a bad night. We should probably find the party at this point.
Okay,
Yeah.
before I'm going to let you move off this hex, I'm going to make you make a navigation check. Having sprinted chaotically through the woods, and I mean, Liberation doesn't know which direction is which at all.
Wait, let me check something real quick, because I want to make sure I'm not being an idiot here.
I'm
All
not
right,
gonna
let me
say
check
that.
something real quick.
You guys in the hut, you have a great night's sleep. It's fantastic.
You're like, man, is that really all it takes to let us sleep well?
We just need to get rid of Mahogany and Liberation, and
From now on, they sleep outside the hut.
All right, let me roll.
Okay.
well, Mahogany can sleep in the
7.
7. Okay. Which direction are you intending to travel through the night?
I was just hoping to follow our track back.
So I mean, so you're like
Southeast, I guess that was.
southeast. Okay.
Yeah.
So you end up here.
Just start playing the Benny Hill theme. Just start.
Liberation and Mahogany, you both need to take a level of exhaustion.
Right.
All right.
I need one of you to make a perception check. Only one.
Oh, my bonus is a +3. What about yours?
I got +6. I'll make
All
it.
right, then you take it at disadvantage.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
Comedy of errors, ladies and gents. Wow.
19.
Hey.
Mahogany. As the sun begins to rise in the morning, first of all, you realize when the sun comes up that you weren't going the direction you thought you were going. And that you moved to an area of the forest that you're not familiar with, that you didn't scout previously with your long strider. Not only that, but you're pretty sure the giants are on your trail again. So we're going to leave you two alone for a minute. You three, the next morning, what's your plan for today?
Keep following the tracks northwest.
Yeah.
Do you want to? You should give us sending to Mahogany. Going.
Yeah, that's okay. So I'm gonna send us a message to Mahogany
Okay.
saying, "We're on your trail. Don't go anywhere. Stay right where you are, and we'll be there before nightfall."
And Mahogany says in response,
Are you sure?
Do not answer ascending with a question.
he already did, he's a cipher.
Yeah.
And I'll turn to I'll say, Riot says that we should stay here.
I don't know. I'm hearing thundering in the distance.
So the three of you guys back in the hut, breaking camp, is it your intention to spend the day following that trail?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got to get back to this.
This is the only way we can handle this.
Well, somebody go ahead and make it a survival check, and you can make this at advantage because the other two will be aiding.
I'll go ahead and do this.
Alright.
Oh no, I won't. I have +1 to survival, so unless someone is,
I have +6, so let me
There
do
you
it.
go.
for it.
And I can make it advantage, you said?
Yes, because your companions are assisting.
I have nature, not survival.
Alright, so that's a 23.
Riot's all, we will not lead the hobbits to their fates. And you manage to track them. Here,
Mhm.
and then here. That's going to take you most of the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the meantime, the other two, is it your intention to stay put like Riot said?
Yeah, but let's do it in like a sick tree fort.
You got an idea? Now's the time.
Make a sick tree fort?
Sick tree fort? How do we make a sick tree fort? I've never done this before.
Honestly, don't worry. I was in one on the Beastlands. It was awesome.
Like, I've got the sick part down because of what happened yesterday. But tree fort, not so much.
So are you guys gonna stay put in like a tree?
Yeah, we're gonna build like a shitty platform. The whole time, while like the platform is clearly staying like a shitty platform, Mahogany's like, "Don't worry, it'll get really cool later on."
All right.
Mahogany's a carpenter. He can do this.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys use the same initiative totals here because I don't feel like rolling again. The Giants, who rolled spectacularly on their tracking checks, as you guys are putting together this tree platform, how high up off the ground do you want this to be? This question will be relevant.
Let's call it 50 feet.
Okay.
I want to point out, it's not really that difficult to track a whirlwind. You just kind of go where all the devastation is.
I want to point out that this is literally the plot of several movies.
Yeah.
They're just following the splatters of Tiefling vomit all over the trees.
Yeah.
No, the two Giants have no trouble tracking you down. And so as you guys are building this platform up in the tree, they arrive with their large rocks. So Mahogany, you have an action first. They're not terribly far away from you. Maybe 40 or 50 feet. And they know what tree you're in, and it looks like they're going to come up to the tree with their giant rocks and bash it down and make you fall out of it.
How fast are they moving?
Pretty quickly. Looks like they'll be able to close this last 40 or 50 feet this round on their movement.
But what I'm asking is, do I think that they move faster than Elsie Clone? Keeping in mind, I think Elsie Clone is very fast.
He's also very dead. Did you mean Liberation?
Liberation, I'm sorry.
See, man, I got your back.
No, that was my fault.
Does he move?
I apologize.
Make a nature check, but make it at disadvantage. All you know for certain is that it took them several hours to catch up with you.
Yeah.
But that they must have been following your trail that whole time. As to whether or not you can outrun them, you haven't seen these creatures' physical capabilities in earnest yet. So what is your action?
I'm going to turn to my left, and I'm going to say, Liberation, let's try to go back the way we came.
Yeah, no, I got it. I'm on board with you, yeah. Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah.
So what's Mahogany's... That's it? He's skipping his turn?
No. I'm sorry, I'm looking up exact... and then Mahogany says, alright, see you in a bit, and slides into the tree next to him.
So you're using your...
I'm using Tree Stride.
Tree Stride? Is that a spell?
Yes.
Let me look that up real quick. I've never seen this spell cast before.
That's why I saw on the list, thought, well, I need to come up with a reason to cast this spell.
It looks like we did.
So you instantly know the location of all other trees of the same kind within 500 feet.
Yep.
Okay.
And I can move incredibly quickly, because it costs 5 feet of movement to move into a tree, and then I can move into immediately another tree.
Within 500 feet. So you can do that every round.
Yeah.
So, here's what you see, Liberation. Mahogany's like, see ya! And then he just melds into the tree, and now you're alone in this tree with these two giants running towards you. And you are still exhausted.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to double back along the trail of devastation, alongside the trail of devastation through the trees.
Now, in order to double back, you'll have to run towards and then past the giants, because they came from the direction that you originally came from.
Even if I'm elevated up, high up in the trees in the.
Oh, you're going to Tarzan your way across?
In the canopy of the trees, yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Remember, we spent all those days practicing this.
Yeah, you can do that.
He can do things like this.
Yeah.
So you're going to try to go over their heads.
Yes, that's
Okay.
that's exactly my intention.
And how far are you able to move?
I'm able to move 100 feet per round.
Okay.
Is that if you use your key point too?
I can also use a key point, yes, to stack another 50 feet of movement on top of that.
And this is why monks just break traditional battle maps.
Yep.
Traditional grid style play.
I can only do that 10 times before I have to take a rest.
Oh, you can only get like roughly 3 miles away.
Liberation.
Hey,
The 11's not going to hit.
nope.
What about the 18?
That'll hit.
I get to nail you with 1 rock.
All right. All right. Question.
What?
This counts as a ranged weapon attack, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay
Wait.
then.
I'm pretty sure deflect missiles specifically says you can't deflect.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You will not be able to deflect this thing.
I have. Well, I do. Okay. All right. Fine.
Even if
Like,
it didn't say that, I
it
would still
explicitly
rule
calls
it.
that out as an exclusion.
It doesn't. It doesn't say anything about throwing rocks or anything like that on here.
No, but
It
I've
says something. It says stuff that you can hold in your hand. I know.
That's if I want to return throw.
What if he punches it really hard and it shatters?
Liberation.
Like Resident Evil 5.
16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
And that was
That's fine.
him rolling with disadvantage because he's well outside of the short range of his rock. And,
These giants are just like, come on!
and clips you directly in the buttocks as you're leaping from tree to tree. But you're pretty sure that's it. If you maintain this speed, that's the only swipe that they're going to get at you. So the first rock comes flying up, crashes through a tree branch off to your left. The second one clips you in the back haunch. But that's it. If you maintain this pace, that's the only swipe they're going to get at you.
I can maintain 150 feet of movement per round for 10 rounds.
Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
At the end of every one of those rounds, Mahogany comes out of the tree next to you and he goes, "You're doing really good. Keep going."
Go ahead
And every time,
wipe all
every
your key
time that
points.
happens, every time that happens, Mahogany's greeted with a middle finger.
You're still doing really good, though.
So I told you guys the story about how our ranger got killed in Strahd last night, and then I wanted to drive the point home, so I had a bunch of Strahd's rats bring his fingers back to them, and then the paladin decided to just keep them. I'm betting that's why she did it, now that I'm thinking about it. When the encounter with Strahd, she's going to give the middle ones back. I'll have to
The
ask her next week.
quadruple deuce.
You three in the search party.
Uh-huh.
Let's get a investigation check.
All right.
It's more of a search and rescue party.
Who's good at investigation? I'm not great at it.
I'm not good at it.
I have +2.
Yeah, same as me.
One of you can make the roll, and you can make it at advantage because all of you are helping with this action.
I'll have Kelian do it.
Khalil is good.
Yeah.
Not anymore. He's not good at anything except being moody.
No,
Okay,
no,
cool.
he knows where they are. It's just in like
10.
500 feet,
10?
500 years into the future.
Yeah.
You find the place where you think they camped last night, and you're not sure why they decided to camp out next to these two bizarrely placed rocks.
For shelter.
Liberation, you're going to maintain... I mean, after your key points are spent, are you still going to continue moving at full hog in that direction?
Yeah, 100 foot. Yeah, I'm
So you
trying
meet
to-
up with... Okay.
Do we see the trail of destruction?
Eventually, yes. After
Okay.
you find where they camped last night, for the second part of your day, you're following this trail of destruction. How does that make the three of you feel?
I was already really nervous about them, and now I am very scared for them.
So,
Well, no, it's fine because if it was a point of destruction, I would be worried. But it's a trail of destruction, so it means they're at least doing
That's
something
true.
along the way.
You're
Liberation.
assuming
True.
that they left the trail of destruction. I'm worried that where it's following was the trail of destruction.
That still
And
means
Kelian-
something's following them.
And
I
Kelian
mean, they
thinks
didn't
it over.
stop.
That's not good.
Kelian thinks
It'd
it
be
over.
better
He's
than
like, no, I'm
finding a couple of bloody, corpses.
Okay, so we're not the worst case scenario, but we're pretty far down there.
Yeah.
Kelian thought what?
I'm pretty sure this is like a Mahogany style destruction.
Liberation. Take a second level of exhaustion.
Right.
Because you dash for a long time. And you're not moving with any sort of stealth whatsoever.
No.
Eventually, you see your three companions. They're moving in the direction you're coming from. And, I mean, so the three of you on the ground, I mean, you hear the sounds of him leaping from tree to tree.
Hey, can I ask something?
Yeah.
Sorry. I know that, like, the time for this is probably past. Was Mahogany allowed to leave Liberation behind? Or is he
I
still
didn't.
under
I
the
came
effect?
out every single round.
He was with
to
him every
give him
round.
encouraging advice.
Okay, gotcha.
I-
Drop out of the trees, tumble to the ground, dust myself, stand up, dust myself off. Hi guys. Collapse.
he is exhausted. And then Mahogany pokes his face out of a nearby tree.
What is wrong? What do you think you're doing? What did you gain by this? Tell me everything that you learned, that you found out, that you found from this dumb adventure of yours.
And Kelian follows it up with pointing out the destruction. Did you make this mess? As if though Mahogany were a bad dog. Is this you? Did you do this?
That was him.
You swat him on the nose with a rolled up Harris Hatches flyer.
Well, we learned that Liberation has a taste for bigger men than I thought. And they didn't offer me anything.
Are you done? Are we done here?
I'm gonna just sit down next to Liberation. I'm done. Are you done?
No response.
I think we're done.
And this is taking place getting on into evening. You guys spent the whole day following, doubling back over their trail of destruction.
Like 30 minutes after we've met up again, Mahogany says, "Oh, by the way, we're being followed by giants."
Serenity, can we have that? Can we have that pass for that trace, please?
Yeah.
And then let's veer off a different way.
Okay. So are you going to move a third hex today? Or are you just trying to...
Yeah, we better do that.
Okay. Where?
It's probably gonna kill Liberation.
Yeah, probably, but he got himself into this.
So everybody else go ahead and take a point of exhaustion for the grueling pace.
Three.
And I'll let the party make a stealth check. This is before taking the exhaustion. So take your stealth check with advantage with pass without trace. I'm sure it'll be a 40. You'll be fine.
Everyone in the party or just one person?
No, just one person.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
For kind of like
It's
the
our
party
stealthiest
stealth.
member.
Yeah. So Kelian, get on that.
Oh, come on.
Plus 10, which is 24. Another plus 12.
Okay.
So 36.
But the world's trackiest giants. So,
Who's taking watch inside the hut that night?
Not me.
Kelian.
Just Kelian?
Serenity will.
Okay, so the two of you are just going to switch off?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody can go ahead and take the benefits of a long rest.
Cool.
Down to 2 levels.
Yeah, Liberation is not in good shape at the moment.
All right, we can go on an easier pace tomorrow.
Hey,
so long as
I
you
get
two.
Sorry.
But no scouting. No scouting, all right? Everyone sticks together today.
alright, that's fair. Everyone sees what everyone else sees.
Right.
Mahogany, go ahead and remake that wisdom saving throw as well. Don't roll a 7 this time. That would be bad.
Mahogany, I had to eat. Well, okay, I mostly ate what was left of the rabbit, but I did have to eat some of that food because I was out of good berries yesterday.
It's food with a PH.
PHU umlaut D.
Yeah.
What does this 12 turn into?
18.
Okay, so you are no longer charmed when you wake up the next morning. So what kind of pace are we taking the following day?
Let's just do one today.
Okay.
I think this party has like
Liberation doesn't-
6 different ways of removing charm.
He doesn't seem up to it.
In Liberation, are you moving at half speed today with 2 exhaustion? Is that what 2 levels is?
I'm looking up exhaustion. I was trying to find it now.
It's in the back of the PHB. There's in the conditions section. Yeah, speed is half for today, so you would have to move it 1
Yeah.
half anyway.
So,
Well,
like,
that's not true,
yeah.
because Mahogany could turn into a riding horse, and Liberation could ride him.
You did
But only
establish
for an hour at a time, right?
Yeah, but I can use it twice in a row. So 2 hours, 1 hour.
or you could all just walk at a slower pace.
Yeah,
we
we
can
could
just-
do that
We can cover one track today, and then
if we want
Liberation
it to
for
be
the rest of it.
failures.
And which direction are we going?
I like northeast.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
And nobody's doing any scouting?
Not today, no.
Okay.
During the day, Mahogany will turn over to Liberation and goes, "So do you think you learned a lot about scouting?"
No, I didn't learn anything.
Really? Even from those giants? I mean, they were pretty good.
That's our party motto. Never learn anything.
Traveling to the northeast here. I gotta check my map for a second. 1 moment. There we go.
Check it.
Traveling to the northeast, you have to cross a. You follow a shallow brook for a while, off in the direction that you want to move, and eventually you realize that the brook is running the opposite direction. I'm sorry, the brook is running to the northeast, the same direction that you're traveling, and you realize that the elevation is going down, and then the brook that you're following and you want to be on the other side of suddenly drops down a sheer waterfall. A perilous cliff splitting the woods in half in this moment. Probably a 50 or 60 foot drop. Climbing down would be perilous, but not impossible.
How far does this ravine look like it goes if we wanted to walk around it?
You would probably lose half a day doubling back to a position where you could cross the brook to the other side.
Okay. What do you guys think?
I don't know. Perilous but not impossible sounds like our party's motto.
Serenity, you have climbing gear, right?
Yeah.
Put some pittons in and rope, climb our way down.
Okay.
Yeah, I can climb down. You guys can. I can climb my way down with the gear and leave a rope.
Everybody who's climbing down using the gear make an athletics check. At advantage, DC is 15.
Well, Serenity's the only one who has to climb down with the gear because she can just leave a rope, and
Okay.
then everyone else can just climb the rope.
Everybody's going to climb the rope.
Yeah, that was my thinking.
Is it more than 50 feet?
It's about 50 feet.
Yeah, I've got
My
it.
notes-
Liberation.
Yeah, it says you take 5d6 damage if you mess up this roll, so...
I mean, I've got that's
Liberation can stay behind and pull up the pitten and then just jump down.
that's a 27. So
Okay. And on the plus side, there is no sign of giants throughout the remainder of the day. And eventually, the sun begins to go down on, if I'm keeping my notes correct, your 6th day in the woods. We're going to take a quick 15-minute break at 4 o'clock here. Let's reconvene at 4:15.
Okay.
And
okay.
I wasn't expecting this particular shape. I'll be honest.